Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Wow, what a weekend. How was your weekend? Um, Now, this funny little wiggle this morning. I was making some astrological notes, and then 5 minutes before recording, I thought, I'm not going to bring notes. I started shuffling, and the first card out was that. And so I said out loud, speak, and this explosion of cards came out. So I'm going to go back to the astrology because it's speaking straight to what's shown on the table. So this is Athen Chimenti, or Chimenti, however you say his name, Mastering the Zodiac. So I've checked in with his weekly this morning. And these are mostly his notes, but don't get too attached. I just thought it was interesting. The word English came in there. I thought it was interesting just to shift the whole thing to see what happens. This is just play state. So, in 13th sign astrology, Mercury is leaving Sagittarius and it's going to move into Capricorn this week. So it's lots of conjunctions. So Mercury will move into Capricorn, and so too is the Sun, and so too is the Moon. And that little cluster is going to conjunct with Pluto. Okay, that will all kind of meet up on Wednesday. So these are new energies. So they're low. They're not going to come in like a hod of coal. Okay, they're going to come in softly, but you'll notice them. You might notice them through a change in thinking. You might notice them. Your thinking goes deeper. Capricorn is talking about move slowly and carefully, which actually speaks to, of course, is it 29th? Wood snake comes in, Chinese astrology, 29th of January. And 29th of January is the full move of the North Node into Pisces. So that's this Wednesday. It might be a bit of a big day. Okay, so mind and emotions is what I took from that. Mercury ingressing Capricorn. We've got Earth in there as well, conjunct Pluto. So mind and emotions aligning in the underworld. Deep thinking, long-term view, responsibility, discipline, patience, seed setting. And this is all happening in that new moon energy. So, might be time to open a new book. If you open a new book, your book, what are you going to write on the first page? Okay. Venus in Pisces, conjunct Neptune by the end of the week. So that's doing what you love and feeding your soul, basically. Mars retrogrades into Gemini this week. So that's talking about communication, assertion, and proactivity. And the underlying card is Mars. Okay. So, yeah, so that will speak to communication and kind of that fine line between assertion and aggression and avoidance even. And then Uranus goes direct Thursday of this week. And so expect the unexpected. This is unorthodox, unconventional revelation. And it's going to retrograde into, have I written it down? I think it's Gemini. No, it's Aries, isn't it? Okay. And so on the table we have Sun Spirit and then lots of messages. So we've got Mercury in the house and we have increase, and that might be increase in head noise. It might be an increase in communications, like people phoning you or messaging you or whatever. And feel into that. And if there's some with that, just go quiet. Because remember, in the dissolving of our codependency and our need not to offend, if one needs to go quiet and the other is pecking, there's no good or bad, right or wrong. There's just honesty and authenticity in there. We can do everything in a loving way. But Mars is going to challenge us to use assertive language rather than vanilla cream, obfuscating language. Okay, so it's coming into a clearer expression. It's, I've just got Neptune coming in here. And to remember the haze, but this is like, it looks like the emergence through the haze. So I've got kind of Neptune here and this haze that's been all up in our face for a while. And that seems to be receding, and coming forward are these new active, vital energies that want to dance and grow and create and break open. And none of that comes without a challenge. It will challenge you to really rework any of that stinking thinking. Right, let me close these notes down. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, I did a little tap into the year of the wood snake, and we've got some cohesive themes here. The words I got were strategic, bold, grounded, bringing your potential into reality. But it's this, it's the sensitivity of that mind and emotions going underground to come into alignment, because the snake doesn't pounce on anything. The snake is highly intuitive and highly instinctual, and it can wait, and it will wait for that critical pounce moment, and then it will put everything it's got into that launch. Okay, so intelligent and resourceful snakes. They conserve their energy. So this is I want to go into hermit, get off my comms, or be on my comms, but I'm going to ignore you. So conserving energy for when it's needed. We're in beginning energy here at the end of January, going through to February. From here to spring, let it build. Let the sap rise and let the seed engorge until it's ready to crack open. Let the snake swell until it's ready to crack its skin and start rebirthing. Okay. So take your time. Again, it's that same message. Take your time. Practice strategic patience. To put yourself in a little waiting pattern, but consciously, not because you can't get to something, and so you generate frustration, but because you're holding. Hold. What's that feel like? Hold. What does that feel like? And in the holding, let Uranus do the work and break open new thinking that's going to come from the underworld. Okay, the gold is hidden in the dark. Conserve energy for when it's needed, so no distractions and no dilution. The snake sheds its skin when it knows it's time, not when it's convenient to someone or something else's diary. As the shedding takes place, the snake will become guarded and protective. I said this in a previous video. The snake could get snippy because they kind of lose their eyesight. And, just imagine revealing a new layer of skin. And that's going to feel some kind of uber sensitive, vulnerable way. So maybe don't worry about politeness without the intention of being an arse, Maybe just don't worry about being polite. Self-care will be needed in a rooted and stable way as you decide what it is you want to shed and prepare gently for what is revealed. So it's all stitching together. Snakes have naturally strong intuition. They can sense danger before it approaches. So trust your gut. Stealth, wisdom, purpose, precision. Stealth, wisdom, purpose, and precision. And they are the notes. So we have spirit, I want to say coming into alignment, just coming into alignment. So we have fortune and destiny. And what these sing to me of is alignment to soul, alignment to what the soul came here to experience. And that might be something that is 90 degrees away from what you want. Okay? And so it might be that some relationships have to end during this time. And that could be part of your relationship to yourself. You know, these don't all, not all of this has to exist in the physical. Yes, it can be relationships, friends, partners, colleagues, whatever. But it can be your relationship to nature can change. Your relationship to collecting and hoarding could change as you prepare to let go of something. I'm not going to speak too deeply into it because this is, if we're coming into a line with your soul, the answers are going to start erupting. Okay? So listening is the big energy here, and especially this week. It's like beginnings and conjunctions. It's like beginnings and meetings, which literally is the 7th house and partnership. The partnership might be as simple as coming into alignment with the soul and devotion. It's that devotion, it keeps singing. Devotion to your soul, no matter what. Letting go of the old programming. Letting go of the stinking thinking and trying something new, because how's that working out for you? Okay, more messages. More? Get with what you've got and be with what you have as if you chose them, and then see how it feels. As if you chose them. Responsibility, accountability, and ownership will bring you into authenticity. It's going to be an interesting one to play with, actually. Pause, ponder, and percolate. This one. Be objectively reasonable. Not because you've any desire to beat yourself up and be mean to yourself, but when you come into that accountability way of thinking, I chose this, and I chose that, and I chose that. The severity is the objective reason, the objective reality, rather than self-judgment. One of the facets of love is pain. Interesting. Okay, so the hangman is saying these are all new energies, conjuncting energies, lots of meeting of new thinking and feeling, coming into alignment, new perspectives, new paths, perhaps, birthing. You've got to put the work into change. Yeah, loving tolerance rather than critical judgment. So hangman, take your time. And this is the big self, listening to the small self. Yes, and then what? And then what do you have to tell me? And now what can I learn from that? Severity, how is this enriching my life? How am I enriching that? And how is that enriching me? Okay, interesting. So we have severity and mercy and understanding. Oh, that's balanced. Okay. So, abundance, gratitude, and big ideas. This is Jupiter. Abundance of what? Gratitude for what? And what's driving those big ideas? Critical inquiry will tell you whether the answers to those questions are in alignment. You'll get that through the vibration. So go to the body. Don't know where Jupiter is. Jupiter? Okay. Yeah. Mercury might sound a little bit like this as it starts going under, because as your thoughts start to go under and get real, you might fight them if you're used to living up here or out here. There might be things you don't want to see. But we have balance here. The understanding. So if you look through your life, if you look at your life through the lens of I chose this, then you can come into the higher learning and you can turn the experience into wisdom. That becomes a learned experience, a completed module. Tick, turn the page. Silence, awareness, divine feminine. Did I say Venus conjunct Pluto as well? Sorry, I've lost my notes. Conjunct Neptune, sorry. Venus in Pisces, conjunct Neptune. That's seriously feminine energy. What feeds your soul? We keep coming back to that question, don't we? So this might be a new way of thinking, getting birthed. A deeper way of thinking. Pause, ponder, percolate. I think that's today's message. And I'm going to start wrapping this up with that one. Sorry. I don't know. This one. I think it's called the Resurrection Oracle. Final messages, please. Yeah, there might be some things you got to let go of. Yeah. Okay, enough. Might be a lot of things you got to let go of. The deck has just exploded. Okay, there might be some things you got to let go of. and you might not want to. 26-8 is speaking of karma, karmic attachment, karmic renewal, but it might more readily speak about entanglement. And can you release the binds? Can you release the binds so that you can go beyond a perceived container, perceived limitation? To free that inner child, to let it play. And that's a completion in itself, coming in on that 18-9. That can be hard to let go of. We can be quite attached in that 18. Give me another card on that. What's the underlying? Give me another card on the inner child, please. Okay, this is the card I just looked at. I shuffled it back in and it popped out. So, finding your spirituality. There's a fusing. I can see the fusing of the mind and the emotions in that 7. Is it the fusing that couldn't happen in the wounded child? The fusing of the child's nature self, the fusing of the child's wild self, spiritual self. Because the child was wrapped up in ancestral karma and maybe couldn't fully express or be itself. And so that fusing didn't get a chance to happen. And as we come into alignment with maybe what the little one's soul wanted, and it may be different, again, you got to feel in and find your own answers. You'll notice I'm giving you less and less answers these days. Because the big learning is listen for the quiet voice and take action. Nobody can tell you what to do or who to be. That paradigm is falling down. And it's falling down in the macro and the micro. Yeah, so with Mercury taking a deep dive, that might look like literally calling your own bullshit. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but how does that feel? Okay. Last card. I'm going to go to the Abundance deck. 4. Final card, please, for Monday. It should be the week, really. I've got Veda Austin coming in. If you've never studied her work, have a look at it. But it talks about imprinting water. And so water has memory. That's now scientifically proven. And water contains blueprints. It's like a kind of Akash all on its own. And what I was getting there is I was staring at the tablecloth that's on this table, which is like a block print. It's an Indian block print tablecloth. And there's a beautiful flower. And I was staring at that flower and water came in as I was shuffling. And I thought, I wonder if a card will come out with a flower on it because I'm imprinting. So the message there is everything you touch gets imprinted. Everything. Without discernment. Everything you touch gets imprinted. Thank you. That's a great message. I have 2 cards. Yeah. So I guess remember the sanctity of everything that you touch. including the earth. The blueprint is the footprint. Walk at cause. Oh, that's gorgeous. Very conscious. Nice and slow. Sanctity, through offering even the most mundane problem, can become a sacrament. Take what you want from that. Grounded, many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity and courage. Take what you want from that. Underlying card is freedom. Freedom. So there's the letting go. Okay, letting go of the old cycle. So we literally have the moon wrapping up cycle, I think, today, as it moves from Sag into Cap in 13 signs sidereal. And that is it, my darlings. I am going to love you and leave you, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Take good care. Happy diving. See you soon. Bye.